Good day, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the process of photosynthesis, which covers your textbook pages 235 to 237. Our objective: we're going to describe what happens during the light-dependent reactions. So let us now discuss the light-dependent reactions, which generates ATP and NADPH. What happens during the light-dependent reactions? The light-dependent reactions use energy from sunlight to produce oxygen and convert ADP and NADP into energy carriers, ATP and NADPH. These reactions encompass the steps of photosynthesis that directly involve sunlight and occur in the thylakoids of chloroplast. Thylakoids contain clusters of chlorophyll and proteins known as photosystems. Photosystems absorb sunlight and generate high-energy electrons that are then passed to a series of electron carriers embedded in the thylakoid membrane, known as electron transport chain. Here we have the two photosystems, photosystem 2 and photosystem 1 in the figure. What happens in the photosystem 2? The thylakoid membrane provides new electrons to chlorophyll from water molecules. Here you can see that the water molecule enters the thylakoid. Enzymes on the inner surface of the thylakoid break up water molecules into two electrons, which will be brought here to the photosystem 2, two hydrogen ions, and one oxygen atom. The two electrons replace the high-energy electrons that have been lost through the electron transport chain. The oxygen is released into the air. This reaction is a source of nearly all the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. The hydrogen ions are released inside the thylakoid. So you can see here this hydrogen here, which has been broken down as a product of breaking down of water, is released into the thylakoid, and this oxygen here is released into the air. Now in the electron transport chain, the energy from the electrons is used by proteins in the electron transport chain to pump ions or hydrogen ions from the stroma into the thylakoid space. At the end of the electron transport chain, the electrons pass to the photosystem 1. It's in here now. Now in the photosystem 1, because some energy has been used to pump ions across the thylakoid membrane, electrons do not contain as much energy as they used to when they reach photosystem 1. Pigments in photosystem 1 use energy from light to re-energize the electrons. At the end of a short second electron transport chain, NADP molecules in the stroma pick up the high-energy electrons and hydrogen ions at the outer surface of the thylakoid membrane to become NADPH. Now the hydrogen ion movement and ATP formation. The hydrogen ions accumulate within the thylakoid space from the splitting of water and from being pumped in from the stroma. The buildup of hydrogen ions makes the stroma negatively charged relatively to the space within the thylakoids. This gradient, the difference in both charge and hydrogen ion concentration across the membrane, provides the energy to make ATP. Hydrogen ions cannot directly cross the thylakoid membrane. However, the thylakoid membrane contains a protein called ATP synthase that spans the membrane and allows hydrogen ions to pass through it. So you can see here, this is the ATP synthase and allows the hydrogen to pass through it. This process is called communal osmosis, enables light-dependent electron transport to produce not only NADPH here at the end of the electron transport chain, but the ATP as well. So let us now summarize the light-dependent reactions. The light-dependent reactions produce oxygen gas and convert ATP and NADP into the energy carriers into ATP and NADPH. The ATP and NADPH provide the energy needed to build high-energy sugars from low-energy carbon dioxide.